ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
And we're back like we never left. It is Live Zone here with Live Zone Sports on East Coast Sports Investors. We got something new here for you. We're going to start here with Bets Live. So this is where I'm going to give a few of my bets of the week here up to you guys. And the first one that we're going to start with, we're going to start in the NBA Tuesday night, 7:30 NBA Cup game, the 5th and the 6th seed going at it. We're going to be talking about the Miami Heat going against the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, both teams are not where they want to be. One is in the 5th seed, one is in the 6th seed. So realistically, they want to be up there into that 2 and 3 seed. Unfortunately, with the likes of Doc Rivers as your coach in Miami getting older and the young pieces not clicking on Miami for the life of them, really. It's really hard for both of these teams to get past the likes of a New York Knicks or a Boston Celtics or anybody in the East when we're at it. So it's going to be a hard game for me to bet on. I'm going to start off and I'm going to take the under on the points right now as we speak. It is under 221 for the game. Yes, Miami Heat has been putting up a lot of points against teams, giving up a lot of points as well. I just don't think that the Miami Heat going against the Milwaukee Bucks is going to produce more than 221, knowing that both teams are going to be highly on their defensive unit. So for me, I'm looking at the Miami Heat versus the Milwaukee Bucks, and I'm saying no. I'm taking the under. I can't bring myself to put this game over 222 points or at 222. I just can't do it. My next leg for this bet, I'm going to put Dame under 27.5. Now, if he is at the 23.5 park, I will say put the over on Damian Lillard. He's been hitting that 8 out of the last 10 games or 7 out of the last 10 games, whatever it is. But for Damian Lillard, under 27.5, I am not taking that risk. I do not think Damian Lillard is going to get 30 points against this Miami Heat team. I can't see it. So I'm telling you, if Damian Lillard's at the 23.5 spot, put the over. I think he will get it. I think he'll get to that 25, 26 range. I just don't think he will be above 27 points. I can't see it, especially with Giannis playing. If Giannis wasn't playing, it would be a different story. But because Giannis is really the star of the show on Milwaukee, and because they need to start winning games, I'm looking at Giannis as the guy to uplift this team into some wins. That's the way that I'm doing it. And then after that, I have Giannis minus 6.5 assists. 8 out of the last 15 games, he has hit the under on this. I don't see him going over 6.5 assists. I really do think that you could even put 35 points on for Giannis in this bet. I'm just not a fan of what I'm seeing from the Milwaukee Bucks in general this year, so it's really hard to bet on them on my end. But Giannis is going to get his points. I just don't think that he'll be on the assists. So I'm going under 6.5 assists for Giannis Antetokounmpo, which means for this parlay, so I give 3 legs out for one bet. That's what I do for my bets. So I have under 221 for both teams. I have Damian Lillard under 27.5. But if he's in the 23.5 range, put the over on it. And then after that, I have Giannis under 6.5 assists. I just can't see Giannis getting more than 5 assists in a game that he really needs to start utilizing his body and going down into the paint and getting back to what the Milwaukee offense was, and that's give the ball to Giannis and watch out. I think that Giannis will have a big game for his points. I just can't see it for the assist part. I just don't I don't like that line at all. I just can't I can't see a Milwaukee Bucks. Like I said, Milwaukee, Miami, they're two great teams in the Eastern Conference. They're going to be in the playoffs, but they're not where they want to be. They're both struggling on the offensive side, not producing with the young talent that they have on Miami over there. And with the Milwaukee Bucks, the coaching, very poor coaching on Doc Rivers' hand. I do think that that has not everything to do with Doc. I think that the game just changed, but you gotta do something about that, and you gotta regenerate or re-establish what you're doing in coaching, et cetera, et cetera. So for that reason, I'm going with those bets for the Milwaukee Bucks Miami Heat game Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So now we're going to head over to my second set of bets. It's going to be the Lakers going against the Suns. Looking at this matchup, I mean, come on. You have to put these teams up here, right? This is in the last 10 years, right? They have two players that have been synonymous with being stars in the NBA, and LeBron and Kevin Durant. I'm not sure if KD's playing yet, so that's the reason why I don't have KD up here. If KD was up here, I would have KD for the over on his points, but unfortunately he's just not up here right now, so I'm just going to give you my bet of what it would be right now if the game was to start today. So for that reasoning, I'm gonna start with LeBron. LeBron over 9.5 assists. He's hit it 8 out of the last 15 games. I do think if the Lakers are going to win games, LeBron either needs to score the ball or he needs to facilitate. He needs to do one or the other, maybe both if he can. But at the end of the day, I do think that LeBron is going to end up passing the ball a lot down low, whether it's to Anthony Davis or at the three-point line to Dalton Connect or D'Angelo Russell or whoever it is that's going to be wide open while LeBron's driving to the lane. So I do think that LeBron will hit that over. I do think that if it's lower, you hit that as well. I just see LeBron having the over on a game where he needs to do something. The Lakers need to do something with being the fourth seed into the Western Conference, trying to get up to that third seed, maybe the second seed, but they're 2 games behind of both of those. So you can't really do much when your team isn't clicking. But 10-6 for a Lakers team that shouldn't even be in this conversation, in my opinion, with the team that they have. I'm not hating. I'm not hating it now. The reason why I don't have KD on here yet is because KD, same with Devin Booker, and even with Bradley Beal, they have all been injury prone since they started out on the Suns, really a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was. So for me, this big three isn't really what we would consider a big three because of the way that they're producing. So that's the reason why I don't have Kevin Durant up here yet. We don't know if he's going to play. We don't know what his points over under is yet. So unfortunately, I can't put him there. My next leg in this 3-leg parlay, I have Dalton Connect, 10 plus points. He's hit it in in 8 of the last 15 games, just like LeBron has with the 9.5 assists. I see this kid being that third piece of the Lakers right now. Yes, you have Anthony Davis. Yes, you have LeBron James. Who's your next guy? I mean, D'Angelo Russell, right? That's what we're competing with. To me, D'Angelo Russell just can't. He's a shoot first player. He's a guy that needs the ball in his hands to score the ball. That's why he was so good on a Brooklyn Nets team that didn't have a lot of talent. When he goes on teams that have a lot of talent, he's just not as good. And it's unfortunate to say, but we saw it with the Warriors. We're now seeing it with the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell is not that third guy. Dalton Connect, a young guy that can shoot the three, that can drive, that has the prototype body of an NBA player. I'm really liking what I see from Dalton Knecht. I would put him in your bet if you were smart. 10 plus points. I would do it. That's my take on Dalton Knecht. I think he's the real deal. And I think that, a lot of teams, like LeBron said, a lot of teams, 16 teams made a mistake on not getting Dalton Knecht in the draft. So for that reason, I'm going to put Dalton on my sheet, 10 plus points, book it. I like the bet. And then the last part of this bet, I have the plus 3.5 spread on the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know why they're plus 3.5. I think the Lakers at the 4 seed should be favored against a Phoenix Suns team that is now the 8th seed. But we shall see what happens there. I would definitely take the spread on the Lakers. I could even say take the money line on the Lakers because I do see the Lakers winning this game. I like what I see from the spread more than I like the money line itself. So that's the reason why that I'm going with the spread. So to wrap that one up, we have LeBron over 9.5 assists. We have Dalton Knecht 10 plus points, and we have the plus 3.5 spread on the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, we're going to wrap it up here with basketball. We're going to head to football. Got a lot of Thanksgiving games for you. But, of course, before that, we have a little ad from our sponsor. So we'll get right back to it. And we are back. Atlanta Steaks and Seafood, thank you for sponsoring us and being partnered with us. If you haven't yet, go check out their website. They got a lot of good things heading over that way. But we're going to transition over to football. Thursday night games, Thanksgiving games. Yes, here we're going to give you some bets for the Thanksgiving games. I'm going to start off with the Bears going against the Lions. Now, it's no secret that I am a Detroit Lions fan, but I do not like the spread of 10.5 points there right now. So I'm going to start off with Jared Goff. I'm going to give him 225 plus passing yards. I mean, he's hit 11 out of the last 15 games, with a lot of those being well over 225. I do think that he's due for another big game, but I'm going to say 225 to be safe. I'm going 225 passing yards from Jared Goff to begin with. Now, I'm going to head over to, surprisingly, the Chicago Bears team, and I'm going to look at DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has been getting 50 plus rushing yards in 10 of the last 15 games. 2/3, 66% win ratio for that bet. I'm going to take that here. He's due for a good game because he had 2 games where he didn't hit. So I'm going to take DeAndre Swift, 50 plus rushing yards. I think that you'd be crazy not to. DeAndre Swift is going to be one of the main pieces of their offense going against a heavy loaded Detroit Lions team. And then after that, my last pick that I have for this bet is Jameson Williams. I have him over 45.5 yards, 9 out of the last 15 games, which is really, I would consider 9 out of the last 14 games because one of them he really didn't play. So I would take that. I think it's safe to say that Jared Goff is going to get his receivers their yards, whether it be Amon-Ra, whether it be Jameson Williams, whether it be Laporta, whether it be one of the linemen. He's going to get you the ball if you're open. So for me, I'm taking those 3. I do think that the Detroit Lions take this game. I don't think that it's going to be by more than 10 points. But we shall see. It's a division game, right? We have the Chicago Bears that just lost by 3 to the Minnesota Vikings. So I see this being a closer game than everybody thinks, but I do think that the Detroit Lions sneak out because the Detroit Lions are built to win a Super Bowl this year. I know a lot of people are saying that, and I know a lot of people want to see it, but I truly believe it. The Detroit Lions are here to stay. They have one heck of a team, and they're not going anywhere. They're just going to get better and better and better. Now, the one guy that I do want to also put out there as an honorable mention is Jamar Gibbs. Jamar Gibbs for a rushing touchdown, I would put in here, but I just haven't seen the stats of what he has been doing and how many touchdowns he has in the last 15 games or 8 games, whatever it is. So for that reasoning, he's not here, but I would keep a lookout on that. If you have Wager Wire or Rhythm, I'm sure they will tell you what his stats have been in the last 5, 10 games, whatever it is that you're looking at. But for me personally, I like these 3 legs better than what we have seen from Jamar Gibbs with the touchdown. I just think that these are the safe picks. But if you want to go out on a limb and say, all right, well, DeAndre Swift is having a good game. Jamar Gibbs gonna get a touchdown because they're gonna shove it right down Chicago's throats. I wouldn't mind you guys doing that. I wouldn't mind it if I did that, to be honest with you, because Jamar Gibbs is one of the best running backs in the league. So that's the way that I'll put that one. We're gonna head right on over to another Thursday night game for Thanksgiving. We're gonna head over to the Giants versus the Cowboys. The hardest game to bet on for me. I it, the This game could go a lot of ways. This game could go one of 3 different ways. It could either be a very high scoring game because both defenses are not the best. It could be a very low scoring game because both offenses are not the best. Or it could be a mid to average game where it's a close game like we would see on a Monday night. So for that reason, I'm taking the money. I'm taking the money line for the Dallas Cowboys. Minus 198. I don't see the Giants beating the Cowboys, especially after what the Cowboys just shocked the world on going against Washington Commanders. So for that reasoning, I'm putting the Cowboys here. If the Giants beat the Cowboys, that's a bad sign for the Dallas Cowboys because that means that there's a lot more fixing than what you would originally need to do. So for that reason, I'm taking the safe bet here. I'm going with the Cowboys money line. Next, we're gonna head over to Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors over 6.5 receptions. He's hit 5 out of the last 8 games. Yes, he's frustrated, so that gives me the sign that they're going to target him more because he is the main reason why that the Giants are relevant in the NFL today and not in whatever 0-13, 0-14, whatever it's going to be. So for that reason, I gotta look at this, and I have to say Malik Neighbors 6.5 receptions. Tommy Cutlets as the quarterback. I like it. I gotta take it. I'm taking Malik Neighbors on my bet. So, and then the last one that I have is another receiver for this game. CeeDee Lamb over 6.5 receptions as well. 6 out of the last 10 games. Like Malik Neighbors has been very frustrated with how the Cowboys have been playing and how many targets he's been getting. So for that reasoning, it's a Thanksgiving game. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt that we're going to see some stars make some plays. And for that reason, I'm taking both receivers over 6.5 receptions. Why not? I mean, it's one of those games where it's hard to tell, but it's going to go, like I said, one of 3 ways. It's either going to be a really bad game defensively, a really bad game offensively, or a close game in the 4th quarter and somebody's going to show up. That's the way that I'm looking at it. And then lastly, we have one more game here. We have another Thursday night game. I was very surprised to see that the Miami Dolphins were playing on Thanksgiving. But here we are, Miami versus the Green Bay Packers, 8:20 p.m. Thursday Eastern Time. So, I'm I just have a bad feeling for the Green Bay Packers that they're going to put up a goose egg. I hope they don't. I like the Green Bay Packers. If you know me, I'm a huge fan of Jordan Love. I love what he's putting on for a Green Bay Packers team that needed a quarterback after Aaron Rodgers left the team. I just have a feeling that Miami's going to take this game. 2 games plus 20 points. I can't. I know they went against the Patriots. I understand that. But at the end of the day, they still put up over 30 points against the Patriots. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Miami plus 3.5 spread. It's minus 115. It could go one of two ways here. It could either be a very close game where they win by a field goal, which I could see happening, or Miami's going to run the floor with them, and it's going to be a high scoring game, and they win by 7. So I think this is the most exciting game for offense. I think that this is going to be the closest game and highest scoring game that we see all Thanksgiving. So for that reason, I'm still looking at this game, taking the plus 3.5 spread for the Miami Dolphins. After that, I'm taking over 47 points. It's at minus 108 right now. Like I said, I think it's going to be high scoring. Jordan Love going against Tua. Both very fast offenses. Get the ball to the fast receiver, whether it be Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, or whether it be Romeo Doubs or even Jaden Reed, or even going to your run game with A-Chain and Josh Jacobs. They're very similar on the way that they have a fast offense. So for that reason, I'm going with the over on 47 points. And then lastly, my last pick for this parlay, I'm going Jaden Reed, 50 plus receiving yards. He's hit it most games that he's played. I think it was 7 out of the last 10, being really the main contributor over in the wide receiver core of Green Bay. I like what I'm seeing from Jaden Reed. I would definitely put him on your board if you don't have him there. And that's really what I have for this week's bets. Usually what we would do is we would do 2 basketball games, then we would do a Thursday night game, and then 2 Sunday games. But because we have Thanksgiving, I had to give you some bets for Thanksgiving. I hope you guys liked it. This is the first Bets Live. We're going to do this every Monday. We're going to do it 11 to 12 or 11 to 11:30, however long it goes. But until then, we're going to go into one more ad, then we're going to close it up, and then we will see you guys tomorrow for the extra point. So if you guys have any questions, you guys know how to find me, official.livezone, or just look up Live Zone Sports or whatever it is on your social medias, and you will definitely find me. But we're just going to head over into one more ad, and then we will close it up for the night.
2,000 years long, we will never settle. Hard days, no way, with a heavy metal. No time, no fail, won't stop here. Like a torch to a flame when it burns hot. Won't stop, come on, baby, higher.
Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for watching. This has been Bets Live here with you. We're gonna do this, like I said, every Monday night. So make sure, as always, stay tuned.